everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of the FIFA 17 Burnley Career Mode. We're now into episode 7 now, and we've got 3 more games coming up for you. Stoke City the first up at the Britannia Stadium, and then we've got to play Bournemouth and then West Ham at the London Stadium, so we'll get our first sneak peek of that. But it's over to the Britannia Stadium. Could we get another 3 points to ease our to get towards that 40-point mark against Stoke, or would Mark Hughes' team bring a surprise or two? Let's get over to the Britannia Stadium, where I'm, as usual, waiting in the commentary box to find out whether the Coats could do it or not. A warm welcome to the Bet365 Stadium, although on FIFA 17 it's known as the Stoke City FC Stadium due to obviously the gambling stuff, but it's known as the Bet365 Stadium, and this is the table at the moment. Stoke in line in 4th place at the moment. Burnley still in the bottom half of the table, but still have a substantial points ahead of the bottom 3, so a win here for Burnley today would lift them surely into the top 10, and John Stutzing knows that this could be a very good result, lying in wait for Burnley. But Stoke are a very tough proposition, especially at this stadium, the Bet365. Normally formerly known as the Britannia. We've all got used to saying the Britannia Stadium for many years now, but it's changed sponsorship now. It's now known as the Bet365 Stadium, but it's a tough place to come. Mark Hughes is built on the foundations laid by Tony Pulis, and he's doing an excellent job. John Stutzy, though, still involved in 2 competitions. Here is the Stoke side. It's a terrifically exciting side, of course, with the likes of Imbula, Adams, Shaqiri, Whelan, Mora up front, Martin Zindi there at the back. A very good side. But Burnley, it's Mitrovic up front for Rashford, who's now out with an injury. Otherwise, it's basically the same lineup that keeps picking itself. It's consistent, it's brilliant, it's fantastic, and Burnley know exactly what the job is. The referee today is Roger East. 5 minutes gone then, here at the what used to be known as the Britannia Stadium, and it's a corner to the home team, Stoke City. Conceded by a former Stoke defender, of course, Ryan Shawcross, back at his old stomping ground. 29 years old, made the £14 million move from here to Turf Moor. Glenn Whelan to take the Stoke City corner, and he's lofted it into that danger zone. Shaqiri was up there, and just wide, in fact. What an opportunity there. Shaqiri got the first header, and then I don't know who it was there who got the second touch, but it was just wide of the post. And what an opportunity there for Stoke to really give themselves a good start there against the newly promoted team. And here's Stephen Defoe, though. He's a player that you cannot mess around with here. Mitrovic. And still Mitrovic. This is a good run. Shot coming in. Butland couldn't hold it. Gray side netting. To be fair to Andre Gray, the angle died on him a little bit, and it would have been very difficult to get it past Butland, who actually had the near post covered. To be fair, Bardsley to Adam. Moira, good ball. Mbola. In fact, Mbola had that earlier chance where he put the flick on by Shaqiri wide from the corner taken by Whelan earlier on. Here's Bardsley now to Moira, here's Mbola. Oh, he's turned, and Mbola had scored, and Stoke take the lead here, and that will please Mark Hughes, who gets a cuddle from Mbola, who now in turn gets cuddled by his teammates. Burnley again, not for the first time away from home this season, a little bit defensive Keystone Cops, if you like, and he'd exposed Tom Heaton to a certain extent. And Ebola hit an unstoppable shot, which the Burnley captain had absolutely no hope in heck's chance of saving. And John Stutzy's team, if they're going to get anything out of this game, they've got to come from behind. 6th of the season for Ebola. Stephen Defoe. That was surely a foul there by Bruno Martins Indy. Free kick to Burnley, just on halfway, and Burnley's goal separating the 2 teams. Stephen Defoe has just picked up a little knock there, but he's Okay to continue, and here he is now. Good running, and he's still got the possession. He might get a shot on here, and it might have took a little deflection which slowed the pace of the ball down and made it easy for Jack Butland. Bowler now for Stoke, coming up towards the latter stages of the first half. Mora going through, and Mora just shooting wide, and well, that would have put clear daylight between themselves and the Clarets there. Again, right through the heart of the Burnley defence, but the accuracy of the shot just missing there, and that will not please Mark Hughes one jot. Start the second half, and Stoke have made a half-time switch. And here comes Antonio. Chance here for Burnley, and they've hit the crossbar. I think they've hit the crossbar, and Peter's getting away. Shaqiri. Still looking to increase the lead. Shaqiri's crossing a dangerous one. Trippier got there, and it was desperate stuff there in defence from Burnley. Much more organised defensively now as the second half has worn on. And here's Andre Gray through. What an opportunity now for Gray. Can he keep his head? Yes, he can. He's equalised. 1-1. 20 to play. And what a finish we're going to be in for now at the Bet365 Stadium. Andre Gray, simple finish really, kept his head, shot brilliantly past Jack Butland with his left foot, and in he went for the equaliser. It's 1-1 here at the Britannia Stadium. 8 for the season as well. Just to confirm that half-time substitution, it was Afellay who came on in the second half, and here he is now, it's Shaqiri. And here's Whelan. Oh, what a chance for Glenn Whelan. Oh, what an opportunity then. And that would have put Stoke 2-1 up. Big chance wasted by the Irishman. And then Grant Gray gets away. And it's Andre Gray. 6 to play. Oh, good tackle there. Mitrovic goes in. Indy now makes a very good challenge. Afellay. And Bowler. Mora. Now it's Stoke's turn to attack. Both teams, I'm sure, are not contented with a point each. They'll be contented to try and get 3 if they can. And it's Stoke now in the ascendancy with Shaqiri. Danger here for Burnley. Oh, and it's Trippier just about in the nick of time got it away. And here come Burnley on the counter-attack. This game is to-in and fro-in, and Bardsley makes a very good intervention. 2 added minutes at the end of this game. What a finish. Mora now to Whelan. Back to Mora again. Is there a last chance here for Stoke? No, it's going to be Tom Heaton's ball, and that's going to be a point apiece. You can be rest assured of that. Referee Roger Rees brings proceedings to a close. It was not a classic by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a game of 2 halves. Stoke took the lead through a bowler's strike, and then in the second half, Andre Gray came off to equalise and earn the Clarets a point. It could have gone either way, but maybe on balance, because it wasn't as a classic game as everyone expected it to be, a point is probably about fair. Final score, Stoke City 1, Burnley 1. And with that draw, it moves us into the top 10. As I rightly forecast, we've got 18 points so far from 14 games. Not a bad return, especially if you're a newly promoted side like Burnley are at the moment, like we are at the moment. So it always bodes well when newly promoted teams get that sort of points. I mean, we're nearly halfway towards that magical 40, aren't we? So that's always an encouragement. We have to go. In fact, we actually play the team of Bubbers next, which is Bournemouth at Turf Moor, which is going to be a difficult game. And Bournemouth really, again, like the season before, really exceeding all expectations at the moment. But we're competing, and that's great. We're in the EFL Cup semi-finals, and really December could be a fruitful month for us. But this is going to be a tough old test against Bournemouth. There's no two ways about it. But it's, you know, and then we've got to go on a Tuesday night to the London Stadium, which I'm looking forward to. So let's get back to home comforts now. What we think might be home comforts. We haven't lost at home for a while. Let's see if we could beat Bournemouth and keep our record going and keeping that top 10. As ever, I was in the commentary box to find out if we could or not. Well, we're back at Turf Moor. Typical Lancashire weather today. John Stutsy's Burnley back at home, and it's wet and windy. But both teams now in the top 8, in the top 10. Burnley just above Bournemouth, but a Bournemouth win could put them above Burnley. So really incentive really is for both teams to really get 3 points. And a little sub-pod, Eddie Howe returns to his former club. He spent 3 years as a manager here, building the foundations for 2 promotions under Sean Dyche, and the team that John Stutsy's got now, which again is the same 11 that drew 1-1 at the Bet365 Stadium last week against Stoke City. What about Eddie Howe's Bournemouth? What he's done at Bournemouth, incidentally, Eddie Howe, has been nothing short of a miracle. He should be Bournemouth's, I wouldn't be surprised if he was Bournemouth's best ever manager. With the way he's turned that club around, he's done a terrific job, and he's not even 40 years old, and he's taken them from the bottom division upwards, and here is his lineup. And one player that we've got to watch out for is Callum Wilson. Watch out for Stanislas and Dan Gosling. Drew Sermon, very good holding midfielder, and Federici, plenty of Premier League experience in goal. It will be a difficult prospect for Burnley, but this is what they signed up to. This is how they got promoted in the first place, and so far they've exceeded every expectation going. And the man in charge is Mike Dean from Merseyside. Oh, Eddie Howe back at his old stomping ground, as would like to get one over on his former employers, but John Stutsy's team, I'm sure, will have visions of trying to get 3 points against their former manager. This is Wilson now for Bournemouth, all in blue today, and still has it, Wilson. Season desperately curtailed by injuries last term, and still has possession. Good tackle though from Jeff Henrik, did really well. Now Antonio, on for Henrik. Good ball that into the path of Gray, and we know what Gray can be like on the runs, and Mark Wilson trying to track him back, but he's got nowhere near. Ball towards Mitrovic, and he couldn't get the header in, and he was under some great pressure there from Adam Federici as well. Lovely little chip back from Andre Gray, having got away from Mark Wilson, formerly of Stoke, and Mitrovic just couldn't finish the job. So more full, not exactly full, but still a good 18,000-19,000. We've turned up on a very wet and cold December afternoon here for this game. This is Wilson, Cook, and Fraser out on the far side. Danger here now for Burnley. Ball in there towards Wilson. Oh, and he wasn't far from giving Bournemouth the lead. Lovely cross there by Ryan Fraser, and Callum Wilson came within a few inches of putting Bournemouth into front. That's 5 minutes of what's been pretty uneventful first half in terms of chances, but here's Ryan Fraser again for Bournemouth, and he's pulled the ball back, and a good tackle from Michael Keane, and it needed to be. The ball pulled back, and Keane was all there, ready to come out and block that shot from, I think it might have been Dan Gosling. But the danger not over yet for the Clarets. Fraser with the corner, and it's a poor one straight to Andre Gray, who puts the ball out of play inexplicably. Now, apart from one chance, really, it's not been a pretty watch so far between 2 mid-table teams who could do better as far as attacking is concerned. But maybe Dan Gosling could provide something, but Tom Heaton making a smart save away to his right, and that's probably the best chance of the match so far. And Tom Heaton has come up with the save in the match so far. International quality there from Tom Heaton, keeping the score sheet blank. Ian Smith, 5 minutes gone in the second half. There's the cross. Shawcross was there, and oh, I tell you what, he wasn't pretty defending there from Ryan Shawcross, but I tell you what, it was effective. This is Goffrand. Burnley need to get a whole forward in this game. They've not been brilliant. Remember, they were poor last time they lost against Crystal Palace, and they're poor again today, and Ryan Fraser again takes possession. He's had a good game down that right hand side. Now Cook, back to Fraser, good skills by him. Burnley nearly need to beware here. Here's Wilson, real danger here for Burnley. It's Wilson, good tackle there from the Irishman Jeff Henrik. Now Keane tries to break, but he can't, and it's Drew Sermon, and it's Wilson, and Wilson forces a save from Heaton, although, to be fair, It was a team effort. Stephen Defoe, better, no chance, great, good save Federici, better for Burnley though. And it was that man again, Stephen Defoe, good through ball, great onside, got his shot in first time, but Federici equal to the task. Burnley now starting to find a bit more, and just as soon as I said that, Gray has lost it, and here come Bournemouth again, with Wilshere, and this is Cameron Wilson, off the post, and falling in, it's Dan Gosling. And he's threatened to do that all afternoon, and Bournemouth are leading at Turf Moor. And you have to say, they probably deserve it. 82 minutes gone, and that might just be the goal that sinks the Clarets off the post through Cameron Wilson, and before Andy Robertson could get there, in came Dan Gosling, and maybe the introduction of Jack Wilshere has probably made a little bit of difference in that Bournemouth midfield, and the Clarets now trail, and they'll need miracles to try and get themselves out of this situation. Third of the season for Gosling. Last minute, Stephen Defoe, onside is Sam Vokes, what a chance this is, Vokes! Good block by Francis, it's a corner. And Burnley now might as well throw everybody forward now for this. Can they save a point? That's a poor corner really, but they'll get another goal. Gosling just hooks it almost into the Harry Potts Way Road. Here's Defoe with a corner. Good Fran's header, and he deflected away again. I think Federici made a good save in all of that. It's another corner. Here it is again. Guthran with a super header, and that's going all the way. And Federici actually makes a fine save to his right, and makes another good save. Here's Stephen Defoe now with another corner, and another good header with another good save. Federici now having to work overtime in stoppage time. Another corner. The last chance saloon for the Clarets. Stephen Defoe putting some real quality now in these latter stages. Will it lead to an equaliser? Ball in, and Guthran can't get in there. Wilshere got a half a touch and he's cleared away. And that's the last chance gone now, surely, for Burnley. As referee Dean now checks his watch and blows for time. But Bournemouth probably on balance deserved their win. They were more ruthless, they had the more attacking ideas, and Eddie Howe has done his former club. Disappointment for the Clarets, who fought and almost got an equaliser from that flurry of corners right at the end there. But it's Dan Gosling's 82nd minute winner that's won the day for Bournemouth. Final score here at a wet and rainy and windy Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. Well, after that catastrophic loss, we've now dropped down to 14th in the table, just 5 points above the trap door, and that's a little bit worrying really, because we really, apart from the last few knockings of the game, we didn't really threaten too much. I know Gray had a good effort as well, saved by Federici, but apart from all that really, we didn't offer too much. That was a bit of a worry. Bournemouth, well, they're in 9th place on 21 points. I mean, it's still there for us, 18 points. It's not a bad start to the season, but we should be a lot higher than what we are, and it is a little frustrating. But West Brom's still propping up the rest. They have actually won another game since beating us as well. Swansea, believe it or not, only won one game and drawn 7. So too, Southampton, they've drawn 7 as well. So it's amazing, really, when you think about it. But now, at least we haven't got long to wait before the next game, which is a trip to the Olympic Stadium, or what's now known as the London Stadium, as we take on Slaven Bilic's West Ham United, who are lying 12th and in pretty good form. Now, Joshua Kimmich has actually returned from injury, and in fact, as you'll see there, he's actually going to be in the squad, so he might get a run out at some point, maybe in this game tonight. So we'll just have to find out how that one will go. But we go off to the Olympic Stadium, or the London Stadium as it's now known, at the home of West Ham. Slaven Bilic's side, difficult side to beat, Dimitri Payet and their team. Could we get a result? Let's see if we could get our first win on our first trip to the Olympic Stadium. And here we are at the London Stadium for West Ham against Burnley. Burnley start the game lining 14th, West Ham the home team in 12th. For beautiful Tuesday night fixture here down in the capital, London Stadium, with a capacity of over 60,000 has enjoyed some great sporting moments in the last few years, not to mention the Super Saturday in the Olympics. One player Burnley must look out for is Manuel Lanzini. 2 goals in his previous game. He's in red hot form at the moment for Slaven Bilic's side. And our first job, as per normal, on every game we cover this season, is to give you the check of the 2 teams. And West Ham have not resisted to play Mark Noble. He's on the bench, the club captain, so James Collins takes his place as captain. Zaza and Lanzini, the 2 men up front. Payet and Ayew could be key on both flanks. Burnley keep the same 11. We'll just have a look at their team. There's Slaven Bilic. Now John Stutzy has kept the same 11 that were beaten last week against Bournemouth in a really dire game from their standards. But one notable player that's amongst the substitutes is Joshua Kimmich. He makes his return and from injury. But as I say, it's the same 11 that lost to Bournemouth, and John Stutzy will be hoping and praying they can put that right today. Mikael Antonio, in fact, comes back to the London Stadium, former West Ham player, spent 1 or 2 very good years there at the club. So we're all set to go. The referee in charge is Stuart Atwell. Here we go again. Ayew to Norvelt, giving away to Antonio. Good atmosphere here. Here's Mitrovic. Still Mitrovic. Reed sticking close to him and getting a good blocking on the shot there from Mitrovic. Really good play this from Burnley. Starting well. Reed getting across there and making a fabulous interception. Henrik forward. Stephen Defoe. Oh, there's a man free on the far side. It's Andre Gray. Brilliant breakout goal from Burnley. West Ham had overcommitted and had left plenty of space for Gray, who's broken the offside trap with relative ease. And the right foot, the deadly right foot, did the rest. Adrian hand to prayer. And it's 1-0 to the Clarets. And it means now West Ham must come from behind here with 12 minutes gone. And that's Gray's 9th goal of the season. Reed. Ayew. Foul there by Gouffran. It will be a 3 kick to West Ham. Taken towards the area, and it will throw up here for Manuel Lanzini. Away from a couple of defenders, Lanzini with the shot. And it's gone wide the target, and a goal kick for Burnley. And a bit of respite for the Clarets, I'm sure. Came from the long free kick, which Burnley really didn't deal with properly. But Lanzini just couldn't get the shot on target. Cresswell to Chianti. Cresswell, 30 minutes gone. And Cresswell, terrific cross. Lanzini's there, 1-1. And you've got to say that was a remarkably well-worked goal down the left-hand side. Cresswell playing a 1-2 with Chianti. Putting in a teaser off a cross. And Lanzini has scored 3 goals in his last 2 games now. And Burnley's lead lasted all but 18 minutes. West Ham 1, Burnley 1. That's his 5th goal, in fact, in total this season in the Premier League. But he's got 3 in his last 2. He's on a bit of a hot streak at the moment. So too is Andre Gray. But it's 1-1 then at the London Stadium, and really West Ham have battled back well. But wait a moment, here's Mitrovic, and he's been given the freedom on the right hand side, and a lovely ball into an unmarked Gray, who scored again. Well, the parity didn't last long for West Ham, did it? A wonderful cross this from Mitrovic, and a brilliant header from Andre Gray. That's his 2nd of the night. That's his 10th goal of the season, and he puts Burnley back in front here. What a game at the London Stadium. It's West Ham 1 now, Burnley 2. 10 to play till half time. Keane. Oh, given away to Lanzini, and Zaza is away from Keane. Gets his shot in. Eaton was there. Really good goalkeeping there by the England international. And that has probably just kept Burnley in it. Mitrovic is headed over the other end. It's Gray! Over the top. That would have been some goal from Andre Gray, but couldn't keep the shot down. Half-time substitute. Joshua Kimmich makes any return. Jeff Emrick being rested for 45 minutes because there's 3 big games coming up over the festive period for Burnley. We've played just over a quarter of an hour of the second half, and here's Ayew now for West Ham. There hasn't really been much chances for both sides up until now. Here's Nordfeldt. Chance here for Ayew, and that was really a half chance. It would have been difficult for Andre Ayew to turn that one in, considering he was under a great deal of pressure, and he still had Tom Eaton to beat as well. Gray through here, looking for that hat-trick. Gray to settle it! Good save, Adrian. Although it was a bit unorthodox, he turned it over supremely well and gets and Burnley get a corner for it, but it was a really good effort, and Adrian, however unorthodox it was, turned it away nicely. Kimmich, Stephen Defoe looking to work across, and it's a teasing one towards Gray, but Cresswell winning the header. Now Dimitri Payet. We haven't really seen too much of him tonight, which is a little bit of a disappointment, certainly from the West Ham viewpoint, but he's trying to give Michael Keane the slip, and he's done just that. Now Trippier comes to meet him, gives him the slip, and he's got a chance here for a cross, and Noble, the substitute, flying in there, and he couldn't finish it off. What an opportunity for West Ham, and Noble from no more than 2 yards out blazes wide of the target. What a chance. Here's Gray. He's got Stephen Defoe to his left, and Defoe lays in Kimmich, left foot, good save! Diving away to his right by Adrian, and keeps West Ham in the game. Kimmich the sub coming on after 3 months out through injury, almost remarkably to return from injury while almost with a goal. Gray, seconds to play here at the London Stadium, and it's Andre Gray. Oh, he's put it wide and has blown any possible chance of a hat-trick, but I'm not sure he'll be thinking about that too much in his mind, because there's not much time left to go, and Burnley's first visit to the London Stadium is now, surely now, without any doubt at all, is going to bear a lot of fruit for them now, because 3 points are now almost signed, sealed, and very much delivered now as referee Atwell brings the game to a close. Burnley have given their season another shot in the arm in the Premier League. That should really see them up towards the top half of the table. A fine win against West Ham. 2 goals for Andre Gray after 12 minutes and 35 minutes. Sandwiched in between that, 31 minutes. The equaliser from Lanzini, but it wasn't enough. Burnley have taken the spoils at the London Stadium by 2 goals to 1. Well, what a fabulous win that was. A terrific victory for Burnley. I didn't think we'd actually get 3 points. I thought we might get it. I thought we might sneak a draw out of it, to be fair, but I didn't honestly believe that we'd get all 3. Andre Gray, 10 goals this season. For a guy who's never played Premier League football before, that is a remarkable achievement, and one should be commended for that. And I think it's an amazing start to the season, and we couldn't have foreseen that at the start. In fact, that victory over West Ham now moves us into 9th place, only 2 points behind Arsenal. West Ham dropped to 15th. But as I said, there are only 2 points difference between ourselves and West Ham. It was a very tight division. It's a very tight league. West Brom propping up the rest. But you've got the likes of Stoke and Palace up there in the top 5 or 6 there of the Premier League. So it's a pretty up and down league at the moment. But 21 points, 1-5 drawn, 6 lost by. We've only scored 19 goals, but we've conceded 18. But we've got a goal difference of +1, and that's what's keeping us in the top 10. There's about 5 or 6 different teams who have 21 points, but we've got that better goal difference than any other team who have 21 points at this particular moment. Well, and that just brings us to the end of the career mode. A mixed bag really. A draw in our first match against Stoke, a disappointing defeat where we were second best to a poor second best to Bournemouth, and then a famous victory at the London Stadium against West Ham. Terrific way to end episode 7. Episode 8 coming up is a very festive edition, because we've got we've got 3 games over the Christmas period, starting on the 17th of December against Spurs. That was only our first match. That was at White Hart Lane. And then after Christmas, we got 2 home matches against 2 North East clubs. First up on Boxing Day, the 26th of December, we've got Middlesbrough, our fellow newly promoted team, and we've got Sunderland on New Year's Eve. Be sure to join us for those 3 games. Till then, please keep subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like. I love editing and commentating on it and all that for you, just to please you guys. We'll see you for episode 8 very, very soon. Don't forget, more content coming on the JB Claret YouTube channel. But until then, take care. I'll see you for episode 8 very, very soon. From me, JB, John Stuttard, it's ta-ra.